Donna here from Homesteading New Zealand Blind Knitter. I did a podcast yesterday and I went to edit it, got it all edited, got it all ready to go, pushed delete by mistake, panicked. So I went into the rubbish tin and what did I do? I pushed delete again, and so it's completely gone. So you're going to miss out on that one. But I do have a picture of the hamburger I made. So I made some homemade buns, hamburger buns, and some homemade coleslaw, and we had venison patties. I did a whole lot of veggie prep for the week and made some coconut milk kefir. Oh, I can't think what else I did. So I'm gutted. It was a lot of work put in, but hey ho, these things happen, and sometimes we do silly things, don't we? So I will try again. I'll start again, and here we go. I'll add something to this. I might potter or add bits and pieces through the week and just do one over little bits over a small amount of time, and then you'll get it. So enjoy. Bye for now. Hi everyone, it's Donna here from Homesteading New Zealand Blind Knitter. Hope you're all well, and I'm assuming that I have put the preface video onto this, where it's been a little while because last week I videoed and got a video ready for you and stupidly pushed delete twice. So it's disappeared. So we're starting fresh this week. So it's Saturday morning. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today in New Zealand. It's a sunny spring day. It was really foggy this morning, although as Mr. Farmer and I say fudgy. Oh, it's a fudgy morning. But the fog has disappeared and it's a lovely day. So I'm going to be hopefully a little proactive. I've got a list today. I want to cut my hair. Thin my hair out and just trim it, so I can do that myself. I want to prepare my sewing room ready to do a whole lot of mending. I've got a pile of mending and sewing to do that I want to get through. I've got some plants to put in my garden and just start some early summer planting. And what else? There was another one. I've written myself a list of 4 or 5 things anyway, just so that I can remain on track, because sometimes that's not so great for me. It is the school holiday, so I have the last few days I took 2 of my grandchildren to Wellington for the day, which is our capital city, and it's not our largest city. I think Christchurch and Auckland are larger than Wellington, but it is our capital. And so I took them there for just overnight, 2 days. We went by train. The kids haven't done that for some time, so that was my 10-year-old and 14-year-old grandchildren, 10-year-old boy and 14-year-old girl. And we stayed in a motel overnight. So the first thing the kids wanted was a haircut. And so once we got settled at the motel, then we went into the city centre to look for a barber's, and they were getting quite frustrated, and I kept saying to them that a city is different to a town. You know, finding things in a city, finding things you want in a city is quite hard. You know, so the hyper-focused 10-year-old put his head down and just not bolted, but just was determined, and he found a barber. So he was wrapped with that, and our motel was a little out of town. It was in Oriental Parade, which is a really pretty little bay with lots of yachts in, and a little view of the harbour, which was nice. But there was a hairdresser right next to us, so that was quite good for 14-year-old girl grandchild. So they both got haircuts that they're happy with. I learned some new terms. Long tapered haircut is tapered really short, but it's a lot of tapering. So that was 10-year-old boy, and a wolf haircut for 14-year-old girl, which is quite a frizzy sort of, she has a mane. So that's 2 things I learned. And I'll cut my own hair, I think. So that was the last couple of days. It was really nice. One of the things that I really loved was when we were on the train, because I didn't take any technology, and I also wanted to switch off from technology myself. I put a auto reply on my emails and said I was off for the week, because I was at my daughter's house for 3 nights. One of those nights we went to Wellington, and 2 nights there because they wanted a break themselves. They're reasonably newlyweds. It's a blended family, and so they went off and had 3 days on their own and 3 nights on their own, and that was nice for them. And I stayed with the grandchildren at their house, which was nice for me because I was in town, and that's a real novelty for me. I don't mind having them out at home, but when you're out rural, there's not a lot for them to do really. I mean, there's a lot to look at and go and have a look at the lambs and that sort of thing, but when you're in town there's a lot more you can do with teenagers, particularly, like the movies and all those sorts of things. Then go to Wellington. So they thoroughly enjoyed the train trip, and what I noticed on the train, which really warmed my heart, was that we took Uno, because I have played Uno before with the kids. It's a card game, if you don't know. But I keep forgetting how to play it because I don't play it very often. And I said to them, right, we'll take Uno and you guys can teach me how to play Uno. So we were lucky enough to get a table in the train. It's an 1.5-hour trip. And so we played Uno on the train. And I looked around in the carriage, and because of school holidays, there was a lot of grandparents and parents with children. There was almost absolutely no technology at all. And there was lots of card games, there were lots of books being read, there were lots of what we did, we also did we played I Spy on the way back, but on the way there we wrote a list of things to spot, like sports car, man on a bike. I even put monster on there. I thought we might get to Weta Workshop, but we never got there. But seagull, ship, plane, those sorts of things. So we put all those things down on the list, and we checked them off once we'd spotted them. So everybody in that carriage was playing games or doing I Spy, or it was just lovely, or reading. And I thought, yep, there is, I believe and I hope that there's a real change around recognising that technology is wonderful and it can be very useful, but when you're doing something like a trip, with family members, you want to be present. You don't want to be playing a game, and it's a skill to learn being present, Anyway, that's not really a rant, that was just, it warmed my heart. So when we got to Wellington, we did the haircuts and we went into the city, took the kids up on the tram, which didn't inspire them. I remember as a kid, I used to love going up on the tram. And they were like, meh. And I thought, oh, kids do see and experience a lot more than we ever did at our age, so I suppose it takes a bit more. But we had a lovely time, and after that we were feeling a bit jaded because we'd done a lot of walking, so we ordered pizzas and curled up in bed and watched kids' movies, and I knit. I had a couple of wines and I did some knitting, and they curled up and ate their pizzas and watched a movie, and that was kind of the day over. The next day, the 14-year-old girl grandchild had her hair cut that morning because we couldn't get an appointment that day for her. And then we went to Te Papa, which is an amazing museum here, and it's very interactive for children. It's got a Gallipoli War part, which is just very sort of moving and very touchy. Kids can really get in and interact, which is great, particularly for 10-year-old boy grandchild. So, and then we had some nice lunch and took it back on the train and played I Spy and a game of Uno, or Ono 99, something like that, and another game I learned. And yeah, it was all learning, but it was great fun. And then we went back to their house and had just a couple of nights, a couple of days. We didn't do a great deal, we just floated around home really, and yeah, that which was nice because I was, first week of the school holidays, I was feeling quite jaded, and just a downtime was really good. And so it's now Saturday morning. Mr. Farmer went out last night and had a catch up with some of his mates, and so I had a really quiet night, which was wonderful. I did some knitting, and I watched a couple of podcasts, actually watched a lot of podcasts. And what else did I do last night? Oh, I made my favourite, I put it away in the fridge, mouse traps, we used to call them, but just buns with spaghetti, onion, ham and cheese and grilled. So it's kind of like a pizza on a bun. And I left Mr. Farmer's out so that he had something to eat when he got home, and I had mine. So I had a night on my own, which was lovely. This morning, Saturday morning, Mr. Farmer and I always have a nice breakfast once a week together, and we love scrambled eggs and hash browns. So I don't know if you can hear the air fryer, but the air fryer is going with hash browns. My sister-in-law gave us a new brand that it's here. I've never tried them, but Mr. Farmer has. Hash browns. I can't read the packet because I'm blind, but if you have a look, jumbo hash browns. They are very, very large, big, round, quite fat ones. So hopefully we'll enjoy those. But they're cooking in the air fryer now, and I thought I'd make some scrambled eggs. I do a very lazy scrambled eggs in the microwave, but it is always super yummy. And one of the reasons I do that one is because I hate cleaning pots after scrambled eggs. They make a heck of a mess, and you've always got a scrubby pot to do. You don't with the microwave, and it's quick, and they make beautiful creamy ones. So I thought I would go through that with you now so that you can see the scrambled eggs. So I'm going to bring you down because I've got everything ready. Hopefully you can see that. I cover my dishes with this instead of Glad wrap or things. So in my jar I have 2 tablespoons of butter, and this is to stop the splattering in the microwave. So I just melt the butter a wee bit. You can do it without melting the butter, and if I am in a rush or something I do, but it does make it creamier if the butter is melted. Now I have 5 eggs ready from our chooks. They're laying beautifully. We're getting 11 eggs a day out of 10 chooks. Now I'm sure there's 11 chooks there, but because I don't believe chooks lay twice a day, but I'm not sure. But we are getting 11 eggs, so I have to recount. It's a bit, that's the blind thing again. But I don't wash my eggs because they've got a coating on them. I've said this before. I just leave the dirt on them and I rub it off just before I break them in. I know some people, no judgment, everybody's different, but there is a safe coating over the shell after the egg is laid that hardens, that protects the egg from germs. And if you wash the egg, you're washing that off. So you may be washing those germs off, but you're allowing lots of other germs in. I suppose you could wash it straight away, but I just found by the time it's nice and dry, and I just rub it off. So no judgment on anybody, if you can all do it differently. So we melt the butter and we add 5 eggs I've got, and that's 2 eggs each and 1 for the pot. It's a bit like putting tea bags in, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. These farm eggs do make a lot of egg. So if you are using, and Mr. Farmer loves these scrambled eggs, so he does eat quite a bit. If you do make scrambled eggs out of town bought eggs, then your best bet is to add a few more eggs. Well, 5 would probably be enough because I am making quite a bit of egg. This is a wee gift I brought Mr. Farmer when I went to Te Papa. If you can see that, yes. It's a little Remu box, and it's just gorgeous. It's got a piece of pawa on the back with a little kiwi, carved kiwi, and I've tipped it over now, and I've put ground black pepper in it. So we've got a little wooden one here that we keep our flavoured salt in, which I must make for you one day, and now we've got ground pepper in as well. So, and then of course I've got ordinary white salt and black pepper to grind. So I will use the ground pepper today because I thought I would use our new gift. So 5 eggs, a good teaspoon of salt, or not a teaspoon, a good fingerful, so 5. So somebody asked me once, how do you know how much salt and pepper to put in? What I do with these is I go 1, 2 rounds for each egg. So I do 10 rounds for 5 eggs. And that to me seems to be about right. But everybody's tastes are different. I like them just averagely salted, and Mr. Farmer always adds salt afterwards. So that is about right. So 2 twists per egg seems to work for me, or a good hold full. So I will do some ground black pepper, seems we've got it nice and handy in our lovely little Remu box. We're getting a new bench top being made for behind me, and it's going to be totara. We love wood. This is my dried parsley. I'm actually starting to run out, so I'm going to leave the jar in the kitchen to remind me to do some more. So I put a drop, that's probably too much. I put the dried parsley in now because it needs to rehydrate while it's cooking, but if it's fresh parsley, I don't put it in until after I've sort of almost cooked it to the last minute before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's all I do for the milk. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, no measures, just experience, but I just can't fire quite quickly while it's pouring out, and that seems to be about right for that too. Now I just use a fork and I give it a good blend, but I don't sort of over blend it. Oh, I've got my new spoon dish there. I should get into the habit of using it. Put my cover over it. If you've got something with a cover helps it cook it more evenly. So I do find that it also keeps the microwave clean. And then I do 2 minutes. And 2 minutes is quite a good amount of time to kind of get it started. And when I pull it out, you'll see what I mean. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, top's a bit low, isn't it? You'll know what I mean. So yeah, so well, we can chat. This is my homemade dishcloth, my crocheted one, and I just crocheted in a circle. Again, these are the ones that I struggle with seeing them on the bench, so I need to do bright ones next time. And also, I'm not sure if I like the colour because it actually looks dirty. It's not dirty, that's its colour. It's sort of a fawn, I suppose. But yeah, that's 100% cotton. I just like them. They're very good. You can bleach them. They all got a bleaching last week. I just do them on mess in my sink, so it gives the sink a nice soak and some bleach. I don't use bleach very often because we're on, you know, we've got our own, what am I trying to say? We have septic tanks, and so bleach is not great for them. It's okay every now and then, but you can't do it regularly. Yeah, so that is that. So the next thing on after we've had our hash browns and scrambled eggs and a nice coffee is I want to cut my hair, and then I really want to try and not pretending, I'm having a staycation. Now when you have a staycation, which is a vacation at home, you have to be a little bit more disciplined, I suppose, because it's very easy to get back into doing your work. I mean, I've obviously, yesterday I caught up with all the washing, so the washing's done and out on the line, and I put the vacuum cleaner around, so the house is tidy and clean, yeah, so I'm just really making sure I feel like I'm on holiday, and certainly where I live. It's just stunning outside. If I can show you, I'll give you a quick look. If I reverse the camera, look at that. It is just the most beautiful day. So it's quite easy for me to actually feel on holiday. Now, that was the microwave. So that was 2 minutes. And what happens in the 2 minutes is all of the edge goes all fluffy and the middle is runny, and like an egg really, and the stuff rises to the top, all the bits and pieces. So I get my fork and I then sort of cut and fold, and give it a little whisk. This is how this for me seems to be how it goes all fluffy. And then I put it back in, and this time now I just do a minute at a time. So 1 minute, get rid of the milk so you don't have to see that. And yeah, a minute at a time. The eggs, I've got 2 dozen eggs sitting here because they're laying so well, and I sell them, and that pays for their pays for their keep, basically. It pays for their pellets, and those eggshells just go in there with our tea bags and tissues and bits and pieces, and that goes into the compost. And yeah, so I will leave the parsley out. I do chives as well, but my chives, and I will do some chives. I've got chives ready, but they are, I don't like leaving them longer as a year or two in the garden because it can get quite tough, and they are a wee bit tough, but I will dehydrate those. So it's another wee, I don't want to call it job because that makes it feel like work, but it's another little mission to do, is to dehydrate some parsley and chives. Right, that's 1 minute. So I'll have a look and see how that's going, and that is done. So that is, let me see, really light, really fluffy, and incredibly creamy eggs. You can put cream in, of course, but I didn't have any at the moment, so you could have put cream instead of milk. But that's 3 minutes, 5 eggs, very, very beautiful creamy eggs, and it's not a lot of mess. You know, that's, again, that's what I love, is in the fry pan or in a pot, you get stuck on the bottom. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's messy, but those are particularly creamy. The butter helps, of course, and if you had cream, yes. The key is to undercook, because it will still keep cooking now, and the parsley will hydrate and absorb some of the moisture as well. So the key is to, when you bring it out and it is still looking moist, that's when you bring it out and leave it sitting on the bench, because it will change and keep cooking while it's under the cover. If I am preparing it early, I don't do that last 1 minute. I do the first 2 minutes and just leave it sitting in the microwave ready to put on for a minute while I'm dishing. So that is my scrambled eggs. Super easy, very little mess, 3 minutes, bish bang boom. Yeah, hopefully you'll have enjoyed that. We'll carry on for the rest of the day and I'll just come back in, but that's us for now. We're going to eat our hash browns and eggs. Cheers. So I've done my haircut. You can't see it, it's in a ponytail. I'll get back to that shortly, but this is my craft sewing / grandchild sleeping area, and it's a hang of a mess, although I have had a wee bit of a clean up. But what I want to do today is, I've got a client in 15 minutes, so I thought, well, I don't have long, but I could sit and be non-productive, or I could actually do something and be prepared. And I've talked about the Zeigarnik effect before, which is our brain doesn't like unfinished jobs. So what I'm going to do is get everything ready so that it's ready to do my work, and hopefully the Zeigarnik effect will take effect, and after I've had worked with my client, I can come in here and do my work. So, and what I'm going to start with is, I'm going to get my ironing board. I have a pile over by my sewing machine. You can't even see my sewing machine. This is a dressing gown that I was going to make for winter. I want a long dressing gown, and being so tall, I struggle getting them long enough. So I started this. I haven't finished, the facing's not on it. The Zeigarnik effect has not worked on this, I can tell you. So how I'm going to manage this, I think, is because I have this massive pile of things to do. Some are just simple ones, like, for example, this one is just sewing a button on. So I'll have one pile which is just sewing buttons, one pile, and when I do mending, which is a lot of this is mending, this is one of my favourite dresses actually. It's a really lovely dress, it flows so nicely, and it was a really cheap one. It's, you know, you can buy all these expensive dresses over in Aussie or whatever when you're on holiday, but when this was just a good old warehouse job. Warehouse is a reasonably cheap one in New Zealand. And so, but what I noticed, because it's one of there's a little bit of a mend, I can't even find it at the moment, but it needs mending. It's got a wee hole in one of the seams. So I'm going to put that there. Now what I do is, I'm going to put dark mending that needs black thread, or dark thread, light mending that needs light thread, and just simple hand sewing, like sewing buttons on, and have 3 piles. This one here, I can't even remember what half of these need now. Oh yes, there's another button. So these are a lovely pair of cotton pants for summer. I'll get some wear out of those soon. And they're a nice pair that I bought at Target, Boutique Target, which is Target in Australia, but the button has fallen off. So I will put that on the sew the button pile up. And what the next one is, oh, this is one of my beautiful sunray skirts that I just love. Really love this skirt, but it shrunk in COVID. So I've taken, it had a band on it, I've taken the band off and I've put elastic on it, but I haven't got as far as sort of tidying up the edges, or I haven't even tried it on. I've just made it, cut the waistband off, sewn elastic on instead of a waistband, and I just need to tidy it up. So, but that's dark, so I will put that in the black pile with the dark ones. What's next? Oh gosh, dropping everything. This, what is this? Oh, this is just a denim dress, just a shirt dress, which I really like in the summer. But I don't know if you ever wear shirt dresses. Oh, I'll just get rid of that, that's gone. When you sit down you get gaps or popped buttons and things, and I don't like that. So I'm going to sew, all I'm going to do is sew along the button edge and slip it on rather than do the buttons up, so that it is easy to put off and on. Now that is a specific colour, so I will put that in a separate pile because I don't want to do that with black thread, but I'll have to find a thread for that one. This is a trench coat, and I can't remember why it's here. I think it just needed washing. Or was it a button? 1, 2, 3, those buttons are all there. If it was a button, I'll probably put it in a pocket. But my gut feeling is that, no, there's no button there, that it just needed a wash. So, and it's not the sort of thing you can just throw. Oh, ha ha, ha 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 ha. It is a button. So I'll put that button back in the pocket. Right. And put that in the button sewing, but I do think that after I've sewn the button on wherever it's fallen off, I will, I'm doing podcast, Mr. Farmer's turned up one, I will put that in the wash. This is a beautiful skirt that I bought years ago. I simply love it, and again it has, well, it's because it's lace, from memory one of the side seams has popped open on the lace, so it just needs, and I can't find it now, but I will find it when I'm sitting at the sewing machine. So I just need to sew that, and it's the black, or is it the, oh, you can see I've repeated it before, side seams are split again. You know, when you get these things that you absolutely love to wear but they don't last, you either give them away, throw them away, or repair them. I'm a repairer. So that's going to go in the black pile because I think it's the black lace needs that. This here was a top that I fell in love with over in Sydney when I was there, and it fits beautifully up the top. Well, it's actually a dress, but it doesn't fit beautifully down the bottom. So what I was going to do was make it into a top, not a dress. But I might slip that on and make another decision because it's been sitting in my pile for quite some time. It was on special. It was a Jackie E, but it was on special, and it's just the most gorgeous dress. Love to wear it, but from memory, anyway, my memory doesn't serve me well, so I am going to put that in the pile, but I will have to put that on to decide what to do with it. And I think, oh no, there's, oh wait, but there's more. Bear with. Oh no, this is just to be put away. This is a dress I made years ago when Mr. Farmer and I went to a wedding. And I love it, but it doesn't fit me anymore, but I've kept it. And my daughter borrowed it for a wedding. It's really quite pretty. It's got crisscross backs. I don't know if you can see. Oh yes, you can see them. A crisscross at the back that I made. I made it out of a heavy satin. That's it's fitted and it's long. It's not lined because it's a heavy satin. It's a really pretty dress. Really, it does fit me, but it doesn't look very pretty anymore. Lumps and bumps in all sorts of places that I should have at my age, but I didn't have at this age. So what that needs is a wash, because I said to her, don't you wash it? I'll wash it because I know what it needs, and put away for one day if I lose a little bit of weight and it looks nicer on, or that my family want to borrow it again. But it's a beautiful dress that I made quite a few years ago now. Is that everything? Let me have a look. No, I've been looking for these trousers. These are my favourite pants, and they do have a mend that needs doing in one of the side seams somewhere in there. And these would be the most comfortable pants I've ever. I got them at an op shop. They were brand new. Whoever put them into the op shop. What brand are they? Paul Orion. They still had the price tag on them, $200 and something. But I bought them at the op shop for $10. What I'm gonna do, because I love them so much, is I'm going to cut a pattern off them so that I can replicate them, because it is the fit, the style, the fabric, all the combination of all. They're like a sort of palazzo pant, really loose-legged, really simple, easy to wear. I mean, they have lasted because they're quality, and I'm not sure, but they have seam in them that needs repair. And they're black, so they're going to go in the black pile. And that looks like that is all on my pile. So, and of course my dressing gown to make. So my pile is there. I've got my buttons to sew on. I've got my shirt dress that needs the band sewn up so that it doesn't pop open and be unpretty. And some blacks that need repairs. Lots of just split seams and things, so not a lot to do, to be honest. You know, I like to build it up till there's a pile. I don't know why. I don't sort of go in there and just do one thing, and I just build it up. So my sewing machine's there all ready to go. I've had a bit of a clean out in here, so I'll turn you around so that this is where because I do my EAP work with clients in the weekends. So Friday and Saturdays I work from home, and I do it in this chair, so either a Zoom meeting or phone. And behind it is my knitting area. So I've got my stash, quarter of my stash. The rest of it is in bins in the wardrobe, and some of my books. And I'll show you this. She is 55 years old. This was my first Barbie. And probably Barbies were the things that helped me learn to sew and knit, because I used to cut fabric up and design all sorts of things for them. Here's in a wee plait. Here's so ick nylon. But this was my first Barbie. I've kept it all this time, 55 years old. And I just have her sitting up there. She used to have a little plastic bag over her to protect her, but I've lost that. Probably the kids have played with her and lost the bag. But she just sits up there. Right, I'm going to go and work with my client, and then I might do my mending. Bye for now. Morning. It is the next day, even though I have the same clothes on, and the reason I've done that is I've got up this morning and I want to clean out the chook house, and so I haven't had a shower. I've still got yesterday's clothes on because I know I'm going to get covered in poo and dirt. But I have been constructive this morning beforehand, so I thought I'd run you through that, and then we can go outside and clean the chook house out. Last night I planted veggies in the veggie garden, so I can show you those. Not that you can see much because they've got pea straw over the top, so you won't be able to see much, but I can talk you through it. I didn't video that. I didn't actually intend doing it last night, but I went out to collect the eggs, and it was such a beautiful evening. I just slipped a cap hat on so I could see and potted. It was really nice. And then Mr. Farmer and I sat out on the deck, which was gorgeous, and had a glass of red wine and a beer, and really enjoyed sitting out on the deck. Last night was lovely. So this morning, feeling constructive again. I'm getting through my chores, my list of chores, which is great. So I'll turn you around and show you what I've done, and then we can go cleaning the chooks after I've had something to eat. I've cleaned out my fridge and I've taken out all of the things that are out of date. Don't know what they are because I hate these. I'm going to get some glass containers. You can't see what's in them in the fridge, and so I feel like I'm always opening them. So I've got some butter chicken here that we never made. That's too late, so that can go. Nothing ever gets wasted here, so if it doesn't go to the chooks, it'll go to the dogs. That's some icing left over from carrot cake that we made. I had my niece, or great niece, come and stay the weekend, last weekend, and we made carrot cake and muffins, and it's the best recipe I've ever used. So I'm going to use that again. It's so moist. Some old cheeses that are out of date. Some, what are they? Muffins, little savouries that I took out and we never ate. So that's all going to get cleaned up for the chooks and dogs. I was watching a podcast this morning, which I really enjoy, and she's a New Zealand woman, Carla Pert. She's up in Gisborne, I think, over at the east coast of New Zealand, and she was making a quiche with roast vegetables, and I thought, gosh, that's a good idea. I've got all these lovely things I've got frozen from the past. You know, thank you, me, for freezing these. So some whole mushrooms, that's potatoes that I prepped and we never ate, so they can get eaten up. Some cauliflower that prepped and never ate. Some pumpkin that I froze, and in here are some carrots that were left over from the 20 kilo bag I made. So I'm going to roast those up, and I'm going to make a frittata, which I'll guide you through. My son, as I keep saying, is a chef. He taught me how to make a really nice frittata, so we'll do that. I've got my kefir here, which I never got to do anything with last week, so I'm a bit concerned about, so I need to feed it again. So I'm just going to drain it out and put some fresh milk in there just to feed it again, because today I haven't got time to consider kefir. And so what else have I got? I am going to cook myself 2 eggs. Quick scrambled eggs. So I did nice scrambled eggs yesterday, but when the season is running and we've got plenty of eggs, they're a whole food, they're really healthy. So all I do is 2 eggs, give it a quick whisk, sometimes with a little dribble of water and some salt and pepper. Put my lid on, and 1 minute 28 or 1 minute 30 in the microwave, and you've got beautiful, just very fast, couple of scrambled eggs for breakfast. So that's what I'm going to do, and I've got my coffee all sitting there ready to go. So scrambled eggs, coffee, and then this, and then I'm going shovel poo, which I quite like doing. It's a really, it's grounding. It brings you back to reality. It's nice and physical, so it's a good, it's a hefty job, and so I'll get that done and show you the veggie garden, and then later on I'll show you my frittata, and that might be just about the end of this podcast. So see you soon. Just thought I'd run you through the breakfast. So I've got 1 egg in there already, 2 eggs, and just a dribble of water, some salt, just a pinch of salt, not too much, and I love ground pepper, so as I said, two turns for each egg, and quick whip up. Put them in while the jug's boiling or you're making the coffee. 1 minute 30, 1, 3, 0, start, and we'll see how we go. So we'll pause. Okay, so 1 minute 30, take it out. It's very hot, so be careful. And there is a perfectly good, simple egg omelette for breakfast. So you could do a Spanish omelette where you put a little bit of coleslaw in it if you've got some leftover coleslaw. not with the mayonnaise, so dry coleslaw, and put that in it, and there's a Spanish one, or you can put anything you want in it, but just for a quick fast breakfast, I like this. And I also was just showing Mr. Farmer what my daughter gave me for my birthday. It's a gorgeous tea towel. There's two of them, but the other one I can't remember what it says, but it says, life's short, lick the bowl. Yeah, love it. Thanks, Kushla. And my daughter turns 40 tomorrow. Tomorrow, 40 years ago, I was, well, today, 40 years ago, I was in labour. And had my little girl that I am very proud of. So happy birthday, Kushla, for tomorrow, 40 years old. How did that happen? But super proud of you. So happy birthday. Hi, I tried to get clever with the next video and voice over it. Couldn't do it. So I've just got a little piece of music playing while I am making a vegetable frittata. So basically I roast the vegetables, I put them in my cast iron skillet and added egg, heated them through until, and I will show you in the video, there's little bubbles and the frittata starts to come away from the sides, and that's when you put it into the oven and bake it for the rest of the time until it's cooked. And then at the end there's a wee picture of my lunch, which was roast vegetable frittata. So sorry, did try and get clever, but I did go as far as putting a bit of music on while I was mixing it up. I had a little bit of egg left over, so I whipped up a quick wee omelette. My niece was out for the day, and so she had a little quick omelette with the leftovers, and that, as you will see in the video, I just quickly whipped up, put into a bowl with a cover over it for 1 minute 30 in the microwave. So, you know, please feel free to skip through that if you don't want to listen to the music, but that's what happened. Anyway, enjoy.